camaraderie with honeycombs.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names, and wouldn't nobody be able to sue me.
The woman that they're saying is his mother was a prostitute and a whore.
Because what I didn't hear when Cassie filed that lawsuit was all the other women who have been hurt by the diddler jump up and say, that happened to me, that happened to me, that happened to me, that happened to me.
If we had to name two people Diddy probably wished would stop talking already, it would probably be his ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, and the indomitable Jaguar Wright, and the latter just striked again, this time alleging that Diddy has been diagnosed with HIV, but refuses to admit it. So let's start with the fact that Jaguar Wright has been one of the most vocal when it comes to speaking out against the disgraced hip-hop mogul. Long before the Diddy allegations came out, Jaguar mentioned him in an interview where she talked about how suspicious Jay-Z was. She laid out how Jay-Z first started out in the music industry under the shadow of his mentor.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z, he didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as the nigga that was with Big L.
Rest
For
in
those
peace.
of you.
Rest in peace, Big L.
Rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was
dopest.
the
One of the
sensei.
dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
She followed by explaining that soon after said mentor passed away, Jay-Z started rising through the ranks at a fast pace, eventually becoming close with Diddy, whom she dubbed Honeycombs.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z. And then, you know, he starts clienteling with Tupac and clienteling with Biggie and doing songs with Biggie and building a working, you know, camaraderie with honeycombs and AKA Diddy. And
Why do you give him the honeycombs? Why do you give him honeycombs?
because he smacks so sweet. That f***ing sodomite. Anyway, so yeah, then, you know, and then Reasonable Doubt was happening, and then Dame's in the picture, and Dame's building Rockefeller, and everybody's talking about Jay-Z.
This interview was almost a year before the Diddy allegations first broke out after Cassie filed a lawsuit against him. She also talked about how Diddy profited off of his friend Biggie's death longer than he lived.
Puffy has been making money off of Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive. People keep forgetting he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was still 24 when he died. It's been over 25 years. Fucking Puffy has been making money on that boy's name longer than he lived. It supported all of Bad Boy. His catalog.
Coming to Diddy allegedly having HIV, the point came up in an interview where Jaguar Wright was talking about how black billionaires do not help their people. She said Diddy had the opportunity to do tangible good just like all the others, but did not step up. She mentioned Magic Johnson as someone who actively worked to make a difference.
Charities, allegedly. I'm just curious, what he done?
Damn.
Shout out to Magic Johnson, a real black billionaire who wasn't all freaked off, who actually made business, bank exchange, created dollars in real black neighborhoods so real black families could have that opportunity just like everybody else.
She then talked about his HIV diagnosis, mentioning how he at least owned up to it and faced it head up.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You wanna know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
He an advocate. Now he did that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? Gee.
Come on.
She went on to say that several others were running around undetected and that she could name at least 20 others in the industry. She even said that none of those named could sue her because they knew she was telling the truth. And this is where people think she was pointing towards Diddy, as he is known to be promiscuous and was always the partying type.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names, and wouldn't nobody be able to sue me.
Wait, please name them, because we need to know.
I'm not doing
Wait a
that.
minute.
Those are things that I'll be discussing on the Jaguar Wright show from here on out.
Meanwhile, things continue to get worse for Diddy, and Jaguar has been a constant commentator on his legal struggles. And just as with Diddy, she has also been very vocal about Jay-Z, who was recently hit with a lawsuit saying he assaulted a young girl with Diddy. In an earlier interview, she alleged that Jay-Z was one of the people behind Diddy's downfall because he is someone who wants to be the sole king of the hill. This is in line with what she said about Jay-Z ending up the top rapper after Nas had a mental breakdown.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
She has also talked about how those complicit in Diddy's crimes must be brought to justice, including Jennifer Lopez and Usher. In that same interview, she called on Diddy to snitch on Jay-Z, adding that he would probably break and do it in order to get some sort of plea deal because he was not someone who could survive in jail.
You know what? Let's not be coy. You know, I am Jaguar. So let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a bean. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Should I keep going?
I mean, you're hitting it on.
Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Off of Justin Bieber alone.
Then came her shocking Piers Morgan interview, where she not only called both Diddy and Jay-Z monsters, but also added that the Carters were a nasty couple. Soon after, Morgan was sent a cease and desist letter and had to cut her part of the interview.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious. Just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about.
Other than the HIV allegation, Jaguar has made multiple claims on Diddy. In one interview, she exposed his upbringing and how it played a part in his convoluted actions.
Did y'all see when they interviewed Dapper Dan about Diddy?
I haven't seen that one. Please.
They ran into Dapper Dan in Harlem and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. I knew his parents. He said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him.
She revealed that there are rumors that his actual mother was a prostitute and Janice Combs is actually his aunt.
Now, his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. The woman that they're saying is his mother was a prostitute and a whore. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive, not his biological mother, that woman is his aunt.
Whoa.
There are
Wait a
whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers.
She said that no one talked about his past anymore, but it was necessary to know what about his past made him turn into the monster he is today.
Diddy's story is so convoluted, but nobody really likes talking about who he was before he became Puffy. Nobody, like, I would love if I could be granted an interview with him. To interview Diddy now in his most raw state about his life up until the age of 15 only.
Gee.
We gotta learn how to stop making Diddies. What made him him?
One of the most interesting parts came when she mentioned how Gene Deal was more of a father figure for Diddy than a bodyguard.
Think about this. Gene was more of a father figure to Diddy than he was a bodyguard. And Gene was more than a bodyguard, he was an investigator. So when they went separate ways, clearly, he couldn't hold up the act anymore. And that's why I said, when me and Gene sat right here, imagine how much more damage would have been done so much sooner if Gene wasn't there. Diddy was worried about what Gene thought about him.
Yeah.
He didn't have a father figure.
She went on to say that was why Gene and those around him at that period were surprised by the extent of Diddy's depravity. He controlled himself around them because he cared what they thought of him.
And all the other guys around him, you know, that's why I think they're all, from Pete Rock to all of them, are so shocked and surprised. Because he was not this in front of them. He still cared about what they thought about him, you see? But you get more money and you get more drugs. This is a drug addict. He was arrested with his special little Tootsie on it. And he knew he was coming. Why would you have that on you, G? What, you was gonna bump into the last, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
She also talked about why she believed there were so many freak-off tapes.
What is the mentality behind having
If you can
the
own
visual
someone's
memory of it?
sexuality, their vulnerability, if you can own that, you have the ability to control and manipulate that person.
Jaguar pointed out that men assaulted by Diddy were probably even worse off because women were used to being victimized, but men are not.
Absolutely. And it's worse for the men. Women are used to being the victims of sexual, not men. No man walks in thinking that another man is looking at him like a lollipop. Not a straight man. You are only hip to the that you hip to. You know what I mean? Which is why you hear so many people say they went to Diddy parties and they felt like something was off and decided to leave, or they got invited to another room and they decided to go because they felt like it wasn't right, or whatever the case may be. These is literally walking in there not thinking.
It's obvious from the way she talks about him that she is only happy for the victims, previously having talked about the fact that victims are now coming out in droves, because before this, even if someone did want to sue him, no lawyer would take their case. She also talked about Misa Hilton and others not speaking up when Cassie filed her lawsuit.
Because what I didn't hear when Cassie filed that lawsuit was all the other women who have been hurt by the diddler jump up and say, that happened to me, that happened to me, that happened to me, that happened to me. Now everybody just sat back and speculated on whether or not she was a gold digger or telling the truth. Misa had more to say about the raid and the treatment of her child than she did about watching Cassie stepped forward bravely to file that suit publicly. And she didn't say nothing, did she? I don't remember me saying, "That's right, girl, I'm filing my suit next week."
Jaguar said that women should speak up on time, mentioning that both Kim Porter and Misa should have spoken up about their abuse.
Can you imagine if Misa had filed charges against the diddler when he kicked her ass up underneath that car? Or if Kim had press charges for when he broke her nose? Will we even be seeing that video of Cassie? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Why are we letting monsters make it? And why are we letting victims suffer in silence?
Finally, in the same interview, the HIV allegation came up. She made fun of Jay-Z, saying Diddy was not a friend and they were not close. Meanwhile, videos of the two at Bad Boy Entertainment's 20th anniversary are now making rounds.
You mentioned what is considered a friend, quote unquote. And we seen what Jay people had mentioned as far as his lawyer saying that Diddy is not a friend. They are just acquaintances. He does not consider him a friend. He does not hang out. He doesn't know nothing about him. And then there's a video going viral right now where Diddy is saying he brings Jay-Z for the 20-year anniversary of Bad Boy, saying
Jay-Z's special.
Yeah, he says, like, when I'm in trouble, I call on him.
Yeah, and guess what? He did it this time, just like D. Haven said. And guess what? He ain't dead. What's new?
She also poked at how now everyone is pretending not to know Diddy, bringing up Will Smith.
I'm curious.
Do you feel like people hide their past in the security of marriage? Like, hey, I got a new wife. My past is my past. We should talk about that.
He went and found himself a little Tisha 2.0, and everybody forgot about that Paratown thing. Now guess what? Will Smith don't know Diddy either.
Will Smith don't know Diddy either.
It's a whole like virus, G. It's like, I don't know Diddy.
But what do you think that's about?
I don't even like baby oil. I don't know Diddy.
And she had things to say about people who feel that Diddy should be freed.
You know what I think? I think we should find a big uninhabited island, and everybody that wants to free Diddy, we put him right there on that island, and then we take Diddy and we put him there and let him loose. And let them have Diddy. And we call it Diddy Land. And you like it, you going over there with him.
Wait,
let him show you all the love he has to give.
And she confirmed that she doesn't feel bad about what is happening to Diddy and Jay-Z in the least.
But Jack, does a part of you not feel bad for Sean Carter or Sean Combs at all?
You know.
Okay.
I never feel bad for people who don't feel bad for anyone other than themselves. These are extreme narcissists. I'm sorry, I what's to feel bad for? Everything that they've done, they're about to reap what they have sown. And how can I be mad at their harvest? It's what they planted.
So, what do you think? Is Diddy really trying to cover up an HIV diagnosis? And will Jaguar soon confirm it? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more updates, and hit that bell so you never miss a thing.